Hi everyone, it is Flavour Friday. My name is Ruby from the School of Rock in Covent Garden, and today I am going to show you how to make the very much loved samosa. So the ingredients for our samosa, we are making a vegetarian version today. You can add any mincemeat in that you'd like if you'd like to do a meat version. But today we have got some potatoes, onion, we've got some shallots just to give a little bit of extra sweetness, some carrot, some cauliflower, and then some petit pois, our peas. Then we've got some fresh herbs, some coriander and mint, some garlic and ginger, and then we've got some spices that I'll get to in just a minute when we start cooking. So I have got a nice deep cast iron pan. Vegetable oil goes in. We are cooking quite a lot of vegetables here, so a decent amount of oil, probably a couple of tablespoons. I'm going to pop that onto a medium-high heat. We're going to just toast them all off. We want them to be softened, but you know when you have a bite of a samosa, you still want to taste and crunch a little bit of those ingredients. So we're not going to cook them until they turn into a mush. Spread that oil around. Might need to get up on my tippy toes for this one. I'm going to go in with my onions and my shallots first. I'll just start to sweat those off first. And apparently a couple of potatoes and a couple of cauliflower as well. Now, a similar technique when we do wok cooking is we just like to push things to the back so that the new ingredient can always come onto the hottest part of your pan. I'm going to go in with my carrots and my potatoes. These are all raw ingredients. I haven't par-cooked any of them because they're cut quite small. They'll cook in not too much time at all. It's okay if they start to get a little bit of golden colouring on them. I'll just keep them moving so we're not burning or catching. Right, let's add in our cauliflower. Again, we still want it to have a bit of a bite. I've used the stalk and the florets, so you can get a little bit more texture going on there. Give it a good mix. The next thing that we're going to do is our ginger and our garlic. Okay, next goes in our ginger and garlic to help to season. And then I've got a little bit of water just to lift off anything that's sticking on the bottom, and it's just going to help the cooking process. Right, let's season it with a good pinch of salt or two, and then we're going to add in our spices. So we have some turmeric, some Kashmiri red chili powder, and some ground coriander, some cumin seeds. So in they go. I'm just going to toast all of those off and watch that colour transform. Smells so good already. You can keep on adding a little bit of water as you need, anytime it starts to catch or stick. I do have quite a large pan here. Move it around. You can see that that turmeric colour has really taken on now, and it'll balance out really lovely with our fresh herbs and our peas. Our vegetables have cooked down really nicely now. They've got a great colouring on them. They're cooked right the way through, but still have a little bit of bite left in them. So we'll add in our peas and our fresh herbs. I'm going to turn the heat off at this point. I don't want them to lose their colour too much. And it smells really fresh now. It looks beautiful. And I'm going to transfer it onto a plate. It's so heavy. Okay, it's looking and smelling fantastic. spread it out as much as you can, and we'll try and let it cool down a little bit before we start to roll our samosas. Our filling has had a chance to cool down a little bit, so we'll move on to our pastry. So this is a spring roll pastry. It is super thin, but it does have a good stretch to it. You can find this in most supermarkets in the frozen food section or at a Asian supermarket. So now for the folding. I'm going to put quite a bit of filling into the bottom left-hand corner. I'm sure there is many different ways and styles of folding these. This was the one dish that my grandfather would do with us as children. My grandmother would do all the curries, all the parathas, but this was Papa Gram's dish, so I remember it very well. Now with the oil, you can use a vegetable oil, you can use butter, you can use ghee most traditionally, whichever you prefer. I'm going to be baking these in the oven, so imagine that you're deep frying them, you need a lot of oil, so don't be too worried about the amount. So I'm brushing oil around that, and then I'm going to take the bottom left-hand corner up, and then that is going to be the start shape of our samosa. And then going to lift this up and over. Any dry bits you can discard. Press it in. That part can go over. Pop it over. And then a final turn and down. Just make sure that all of those layers are stuck together. And there you have your first samosa. I'm going to put this onto a baking tray and fill it up with as many samosas as I can make. Samosas are all wrapped up snug and tight, just a little bit of an extra brush on top. And then we're going to pop them in the oven at 180 degrees for around 20-30 minutes, depending on the size of your samosas, how many you've made. You can drop it down or turn it up a little bit more. Fresh out of the oven, our samosas are ready. They're so golden. They've got a great crunch to them. I'm serving them up with my grandmother's special recipe green chutney, a coriander, mint, and coconut chutney with a bit of spice, some tamarind, some lime, some sugar. I'll pop the recipe in there for you. So let's have a little taste. I am terrified at how hot this is gonna be, but we're just gonna go for it. Great crunchy pastry. Some of that chutney on top. Okay, let's have a try. Super simple, so tasty, and super easy to do at home. The recipe is in the description below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.